Okay. And let me introduce myself. I always start with a quick introduction about myself. My name is Levy Ahouandjinou. I have the longest last name you guys ever seen. Hold on. Like, let me write it down. My last name, you usually scare people. I don't know why. It's Levy, like Chevy to the levee when the levee was dry. And Ahouandjinou. And you keep going, right? Yes. Yay. So both my parents from West Africa, Benin, is a tiny country right between Ghana and Togo. And I came in the United States with my backpack. I didn't have any parent here, no family, no uncle, no best friend. And I start here, Santa Barbara City College. You know, I grew up in France from age 2 all the way to Asia. After my baccalaureate, I studied accounting and came after high school degree. We call it, it's like, you guys high school degree, diploma +1. French academic system is longer than you guys, one year. So I came straight at Santa Barbara City College, and I love this campus. I used to go, we used to go swimming during summer, all those things. It was very fun. I studied economics here, accounting, and business management. And I transfer from here to UCSD because UCSD has the third best economic department in the whole country. So I went to UCSD and studied economics and graduated and went to China to study Chinese economy, you know, from Chinese and not from Americans. You know, so I live and study on 4 different continents, you know, so I call myself a true citizen of the world. And nowadays, this is what I do. You know, I'm a president and CEO of LMA Advisory, Wealth Management, and Insurance Services. LMA is just my name, Levy Marshall Ahouandjinou. And let's start it with what is financial success. If I ask you guys, what is financial success? Anybody want to help me out? Yeah? Can you introduce yourself so that I kind of get to know you guys? And Hashem? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Financial success is being able to achieve your financial goals that you define them.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Don't be shy. Come on. Okay. Anybody else? Good. You? No? You? Good. Okay, so I'm studying. I've worked with students. I have client millionaires. I have client small business owner. I have client doctors. I have client, just name it, painter. I have client. So financial success is 3 different key. 3 things, right? First, be good at what you do. I don't care about if you are the president of the United States or you are a doctor or you are a mechanic. If you are good at what you do, the money is going to follow. I don't care unless like, you are not good at what you do, right? And second, are you guys taking note? Second, you got to save. I have clients that are surgeons making $700,000 a year and can afford saving $10,000 a year. So it doesn't matter what kind of job you have. It's all about loving what you do. If you love what you do, you're going to be good at it, and then everybody is going to have a need for your services, right? And then you save. Number 2 key. And 3, be able to make intelligent financial decisions. I'm not a good writer, so I'm, excuse me. So you got to make good financial decisions. Whether you are a business owner, you are a student, you need to have a team. You can't do it by yourself. I don't care what you do. You need to work within a team. You need her. At some point, be like, hey, you know what? I can do this. Oh, you know what? She's really good at it. I need you to help me with this project, this project. That's how you become successful. You cannot do it by yourself. Oh, that's impossible unless you are living on Mars, and I don't know how many people live there right now. I don't know. So these are the 3 keys about a financial success. And now let's start with how can we put this on?
We just push blank when you don't want it anymore.
Okay.
Unblank.
So tonight, I'm going to review your entire course and give you guys a better understanding about the financial planning process. And this is all the thing we're going to cover tonight, right? So I'm just going to spend time on what is important. And we have 6 different, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things to cover. How about after 3, we take a break here, right? And come back and finish the last 3. Is it fair? Okay. So let us start with our number 1 thing, which is financial position. When I say financial position, what come to your head? I need some help here. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. So a financial position, you need to be able to understand, okay, if I take you today, I need to make sure to know, are you right out of line? Meaning that you are an average. You are doing as an average American, right? Are you already in front of the line? Are you doing better than everybody else? Or are you below the line? Or you are doing terrible? So this is where we first start with budgeting. Budgeting is the key thing you start your financial planning with. You start budgeting. You need to make sure to understand in and out. How much money is coming in and how much money is coming out. If you bring in X in and you're spending X, you know that you are in trouble, right? Right? So it's like we need to make sure that what is coming in, we are spending less than what is coming in, right? And we need to know a little bit, if you are a business owner or you have a family, we need to know about your assets, your liability, all those things. And then we know your net worth. I usually tell people, net worth. If I grab you and shake you, how much money I'm going to squeeze out of you? That's your net worth. Right? Good answer. So how much money you you have. If I take all the stuff you have, stuff. It can be house, it can be retirement, it can be cars, just name it. It can be your Jordan. How many people wear Jordan here today? It can be, just name it, right? And we need to figure it out. And also, it is the time to set goals. And when you are setting goals, goal has to be it's like what get very frustrated, like, you are talking to people and, I want to be able to make $3 million. That's not a goal, right? I want to be able, I want to be able to get a job that pays. That's a goal. I want to be able to get a job in engineering field. That's a goal. So goals, we break goals into 3 different kind of category, right? You have your short-term goal. A lot of academics will tell you less than 1 year, but I usually consider short-term goal as 0 and 3 years. So within now and 3 years, what are the kind of things you want to accomplish for yourself? Maybe you want to graduate with A. You want to be a straight A student, right? That's a goal. Or maybe right after I graduate, I want to attend a 4-year a UC, maybe a UC Santa Barbara, a UC Berkeley, or whatever. That's a short-term goal. Then we go into your midterm goals. Midterm goals is between 4 and 10 years. Then long-term goal is 10 plus. Usually is, retirement, comfort, I want to drive a Maseratis, just name it, right? Any question? Good. Meaning that I'm doing a good job then, right? Okay. I'll take it. So can you give me 2 short-term goals? Good. Save money is a goal, but it's not a good goal. It's like you are right, but like you want to be able to say, hey, I want to be able to save $100 a month. That's a goal. I want to be able to save $50 a month. That's a goal. It's like, does it make sense with saving money and saving?
$3,000 in retirement.
Perfect. Good. I like that. I have twin boys, like, by the way. They are 23 months and they're turning 2 the end of this month. So I'm Saturday, yeah. Short-term goal. Yeah, it's fine. It's short-term goals.
Have a car by summer.
Good. All right. So now, risk management. Number 2, I'm just following Vygotsky right here, right? So, what is risk management? So, who is my? I need a volunteer. I need a volunteer. No, from now. Okay, so she is on it. Okay. So you started from 0 now. From 0 now, yeah. So and when I say risk management, what?
Risk, like what you gamble, what you want to hold on to, and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Diversifying your risk of investment.
Yeah.
You're asking me if you have good answer to.
I don't know.
So, don't know.
Okay. I'll ask you first next time. How about that? So risk management is it's kind of you can. It's kind of trying to drive from here to Los Angeles, and you have a car, and you don't have gasoline. And can you get in Los Angeles without gasoline with your brand new car? No. So after we already know how much we're worth, right? We already have a clear budget, and we already set realistic goals, short. Then we need to figure out what are some of the things I cannot lose. Some of the things, if I lose, is going to be very devastating. How many people have car insurance here? Okay, good. That's some kind of risk management. Because you don't have to have car insurance. You can, if you have a lot of money, you can save it so that just in case, that's what you call self-insured. You self-insure yourself, and you can tell the DMV that, hey, I have a lot of money, I don't need insurance, and then they will be like, okay, you self-insure yourself. Oh, fine. And a lot of rich people don't buy insurance because they have money but what if you get in an accident and you kill somebody and it costs you a fortune? Do you have enough money saved? Would you want to save your own money you work hard for, or you want somebody else to pay for it? So that's your own decision, right? So some people are risk takers. Some people don't like to take risks. But I'd rather pay my insurance company $75 a month all day, making sure that no matter what happens, I have at least $500,000 of coverage, right? So risk management are things you cannot lose. So you are a business owner. Imagine Shelby, your professor, has a camera business, video camera business, right? And her camera costs her $50,000 to run her business. And she's drinking coffee as she's doing right now, and she spilled coffee on her camera. That's devastating, That's why she needs to insure her camera just in case something happened to her camera, right? So protecting, how many people work here, have a job? 1, 2, 3. Okay. What's your most valuable asset? If I ask you. Customer. No. You got to have something very important to you. What's your most valuable asset?
I don't know, actually.
What's your most valuable asset?
Myself.
Yeah, what's your most valuable asset? Man, you guys got it. Yes. Your most valuable asset is you. Is your ability to earn income. So if you can make income, you can buy a house, you can save money in your retirement. Income dictates everything. So your most valuable asset is your income. Does your employer give you some kind of income protection? In the event you become too sick or too hurt to work, do you have money coming in?
I don't think so. No.
Yes, that's the most common mistake of people who are in the workforce. They don't protect their income. What if something happened to you and you become, how many people know anybody here who have been disabled and can work? And how devastating was it? Very bad. I'm telling you, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Though I don't wish upon anybody, but that's the worst thing that can happen to you. So that's why Risk management, that's why people have health insurance, right? DI, disability insurance, also called income protection, right? And for disability insurance, you have short-term and long-term. So when you get a job, make sure that your employer is giving you long-term disability. That way, if you become too sick and too hurt, you're going to be getting paid all the way until age 65. Then your Social Security kick in, and then, right. So make sure that, you always have your long-term disability. That's what is going to be protecting you. Yeah?
How much does that cost if your employer doesn't offer it?
It depends. It depends on your age. Usually young people don't really think about it. They usually think about it after they have babies, after something happened. But those are the kind of things that are dirt cheap when you are in your 20s. But you have to be able to earn income to show the insurance company that, I earn $100,000. Just a number, right? $100K a year. You should be able to protect about 60 to 70% of it. Because imagine if insurance company protect 100% of your disability, I might just go home and then hurt myself and say, I can't work anymore. Right? So insurance company, they are in the business of risk management. Right? So they know that if you protect 100% of your income, why are you going to work here anymore if you already own the insurance, right? So they want you to work. That's why they don't cover everything. But at least you know that, you have something that will cover, put food on your table, feed your family, and make sure that, you have a decent living, right? So this is where you have your health insurance, your disability coverage. You have your PNC. PNC are called property and casualty, car insurance, homeowner, business liability, and workers' comp. That's what is in PNC, property and casualty, right? And you have your survivor. A survivorship is kind of a survivorship planning. You are close to there. Yeah, you are almost there. It's kind of, we are married, right? And what happened? And we have 2 kids, twin boys, right? And what happened to me if I'm no longer here and I'm helping pay your mortgage, I'm helping feed your kids? So what happened to me if something happened to me? So you need to replace my income. That's why we call it survivorship, a planning. So you want to make sure to protect your family and your kids. Kind of make sure that your family, if I'm not here, they will still receiving my income until a certain point. And you can do it. It depends. Some people do it for 10 years, for 5 years. Some people do until the kid, if the last one, your younger one, become 18, and then everything is gonna stop. So it depends. You can be as flexible as you want. All right. So, any question? Okay. So now let's talk about wealth management. Wealth management, also investment planning. Have you guys heard about it? I'm sure you guys have a class like that before, right? So I'm trying to put everything together, right? So you guys gonna help me figure out what is gonna be in this thing. And the person that helped me out is gonna have a special present. How about that? Okay. Now everybody is gonna pay attention now. I know it. Okay. So let's say this is our portfolio. You know, what is portfolio? Okay. Okay, good. So, portfolio is not just investment. It's not just, it's everything. It can be anything, you know. So, let's say something is right here, and I want somebody to help me out. And if you know it, I don't want you to say it right away. At the end, I'm going to make sure, like, you know, who has the answer, and then you say it, all right? So, we have our house here, right? At some point, everybody is looking to have a house, right? What else do you want to include in your portfolio? What else? Help me out. House here? Huh? Huh? Oh, yeah, car. Like, what else? Oh, yeah. Let's put horse, everything you own, your house, everything in. Yeah. Yeah. So, family. Yeah. Family. Yeah. Job, your stock, bond, securities. You know, let's call it securities. Everything with investment. We put them together, and it's right here, right? And let's put, what else is here? Yeah, health insurance. Let's put risk management here. How about that? Risk management here. Let me help you guys out. Business, right? So at some point, some people is gonna own some business, all those things, right? So imagine this one is your portfolio. That's wealth management, right? So how the hell wealth management? Most people who knows Buffett? So he said, wealth management is a series of guarantee and playing with the market. So you got to have some kind of guarantee. If I ask you a question, does rich people take risk? No. Rich people already have money. Why are you going to take risk if you already have money? You know? No, rich people don't take risks. It's like, that's what a lot of people think, that, you know, rich people think. Because if you have a lot of money, it's like, you know, you can lend your money to big financial institution, and then will give you guarantee and play with your money, you know. So they have a portfolio of their play money, where they play with whatever they want to play with, and that's about it. And it's just a small fraction of that's why rich people stay rich. It's not because they go and buy stuff on the market. No. It's like they don't play those kind of things. They make intelligent financial decisions, right? People who haven't make it are the one that has to take a lot of risk to make it. You know, so what is here? What is the key thing? Huh? What is going to be here? Without it, none of those things doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Good job. Yeah, so here is income. Your ability to make money, right? So if you can make money, you can have business, you can have a house, you can manage risk, your wife or your husband is going to divorce you, by the way. It's like, you know, if you don't have money, you got to have some kind of, be able to make money for you to have a job, you know. So stock, all those things. So that's why these two things, like, can you guys see how that goes together? Like, you cannot do investment without doing risk management. You know, all those things goes together and fit like a glove, right? Now let's go through a quick exercise. So let's see So this exercise, I don't want you to be, is not a text. So if you overthink, it won't work. The first thing that comes to your head, and you usually right. So I'm gonna see you guys' risk tolerance and see how much risk you guys are willing to take, and then like you guys can share with me, right? Okay. So go through it. Huh? There it is. So you have 5 minutes to complete it. Let me give it to everybody before we start. And you are on it, right? 5 minutes. Wait until I give it to the last person, and then, boom, we go. Wow. I knew exactly how many people would be here, by the way. Yes. No, Shelby did it. No, a client 1, a client 2 is for, this is something I use for my client, so it's for married people. So if you are single, you are just 1. So everybody here is 1, so you don't have to fill out for your husband because he has to do it by himself or your wife, so just do it for 1, just pick 1 or 2, but like whatever you want to be. So that's what I'm telling you, is that we have how many people here? I swear that like we're gonna have, everybody's different. This exercise is just to tell you that we are different people. And it's not what is gonna work for you. It's not gonna work for him. It's not what is gonna work for you that will work for her. So everybody is totally, we all have a separate, different DNA, right? So we are different. So be proud to be different, and trying to do anything you do it because you are comfortable with it, not because your neighbor. I have a client that came to me last night. He said, "Oh, my neighbor has a trust, and I want to have a trust too." I'm like, "Why do you want to have trust?" He said, "I want to have better trust than my neighbor." I'm like, so are we done? Who else needs some time? Okay, share. Let's start with you. They can share with us.
I got a score of
32. You are a moderate guy. Yeah. A moderate guy. At the bottom of it, you see your allocation if you want to be an investor, right? A moderate guy, you have about 21% a large cap, 18% or 19% small cap stock, U.S. domestic bond about 42%, and international stock you are about 18%. So if you have a retirement account, that's how your retirement account should reflect of the stuff. I call retirement when people say, "Oh, I have a 401k, I have an IRA, I have a simple IRA." I told people they are just car without engine. It's just having a nice car with no engine into it. You need to work with a professional that will build the engine into it, right? So the engine is, everybody cannot be the same. That's why, and what I have been seeing, people, when you get a job, they usually just send you a piece of paper to pick one, and then you just pick, and then nobody ever thought about it. And usually 5 to 10 years before you retire, that's when they usually seek out to us, or call somebody like me and say, "Oh, I need to put everything together," and I wish I've talked to you the first day you have your job. That way I will do a better job with first day, and we grow together. So do not be like me. Do better than me. So the first day you have a job, work with a professional. Yes, it might cost you a couple hundreds, but in the long run, if the professional can add 1% into your return for the next 40 years, that's a lot of money. But most of my clients are pre-retirees. I don't have a 22-year-old or 20-year-old. I don't have them because they want to buy the 22-inch RAM. Eh? They want to buy the latest Jordan. You know, they want to do this. They want to do that. They want to do that. You know. So let's go into the detail about wealth management, and then we're going to take our break. Yeah. Okay. So wealth management and investment. You know, so everybody has their own DNA. That's your risk tolerance. So me being an investment advisor, before I can talk to you, that's one of the things I need to get from you first. Otherwise, if Uncle Sam, the IRS, come and look at my books and I don't have none of those things and just guess, I'll be in trouble. That's why you need to be able to understand your client. I need to be able to understand you. I need to be able to take off my shoes and put on your shoes and say that, oh, you know what? Oh, that's pretty nice. Okay, like you don't like this. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. Then I come back and make sure to do things that you're gonna like. That is just for you. That's what it feels like to work with a professional. You know, you just don't want to just throw everybody in the same boat, right? So let's talk a little bit about investment. I'm sure everybody's all excited about here, right? Everybody likes to invest. So, so one thing I told you, let's go back again. The guru of investment said that wealth management is a combination, write this thing down and read it every time. It's a combination of guarantee and the market. Right? So, if I ask you guys, how many people, like you guys like sport, right? Sport, any kind of sport, I don't know. What makes a team win a championship? I don't care if it's soccer, if it's blah, blah. Practice, yeah? Teamwork, yeah? Hustle, yeah? Coach? I'm not getting it. Come on. Keep going. Mentality, yeah, it's part of it. It's part of it. All those things, everything you guys are saying is right. But one thing, it can be, what? Hard work is part of it. But one thing, I don't care any kind of sport. Money is part of it. Victory is part of it. All right. So, the words start by D. Come on. D-E. Almost there. Defense. Yes. So, but that's what defense, right? So defense. I don't care what sport you are playing. If you don't have a good defense and everybody can score on you, there's no way you're going to win a championship. I don't care if you have 25 Kobe Bryant in your team. You know, you're still going to lose. So the best team that always win champion, it can be basketball, it can be football, it can be soccer, it can be tennis, it can be, just name it. You got to have the best defense. Then when your defense is on point, then you have, key people, offense, and as long as you prevent people from scoring, and you have like a couple people out there very good, you're going to win the championship. Trust me, because you're going to score at some point, right? So That's wealth management. Like, it doesn't make sense. So wealth management, you always start your portfolio with a guarantee. But most people always want offense. Right? Or they want, all my young clients, I want to buy Apple stock. I want to buy Google. I want to, it's all about offense. But you got to have the foundation first, which is the defense. Then because you can buy Apple tomorrow or in 10 years, right? You can buy Google today or like whatever. Or you can buy any investment you want, like at any time. But defense, the older you get, the more expensive your defense is gonna get. And then when you need it, and you are older, it costs you a lot of money. But you can start your defense. That's why a part of your defense is protecting your income. A part of your defense is to have some kind of investment that gives you some kind of guarantee. Don't go to your credit union or Santa Barbara Bank and Trust and look for it. Okay? So get something that will give you some kind of guarantee. Even it's like, a guarantee, like you might be able to get maybe 4 to 5% guarantee. There are like stuff out there. But start with those first. Then you can build whatever you want to build on top of it. Yeah? Defense product, I usually recommend a cash value life insurance. It's just a product name, but it's just I will talk about it. I don't want to go into detail because it's a very complicated thing, But it's just.
Life insurance, disability insurance, are those the defense products?
Yes. So health insurance. Make sure you have some kind of health insurance. Make sure you have your income protection, your disability, and some kind of investment, which usually there's no guarantee on the market. There's no such a thing as guarantee on the market. But the only guarantee you can get are only insurance products. And usually cash value life insurance, usually is kind of like the money you are putting in. But they give you about 4% guarantee plus something, plus dividends when the company do good business. So I never buy those contracts from stock company. I usually buy from mutual company because mutual company, when you buy their products, you own the company. So you just create yourself a new portfolio. So everything that company owns, you own piece of it. So if they make profit at the end of the year, you get part of the profit through dividends on top of your guarantee. That's a good foundation to start with. You know that no matter what the market is doing, it doesn't have anything to do with the market. That's also one thing I like. It doesn't have anything to do with the market. So the market goes in the hole, like 2008. You know that part of your portfolio is growing, no matter what. Some of your portfolio is getting hit. So imagine you retire in 2008, like millions of Americans. So what the hell are you gonna do? Or take money out of your retirement account, it's all stock, bond, all those things into it. So you will depress your account. So you need to have that kind of guarantee where okay, you know what, let me let those things alone. Take money out of my guarantee for a few years. When this market goes back, you put money out of your investment, put in the guarantee, and then start using your investment. That way, you don't lose too much. So you always has to have a defense. So on the market, when you're talking about investment, there are some risk as a whole. You call systematic risk, the market risk. So when the market goes down, everything goes down. It doesn't matter if you own stock, you own bond, you own this thing. Everything goes down. And nobody can avoid it, right? And you have a non-systematic risk, which has a risk you can diversify. Business risk. So I can choose what company I want to invest in, right? Because I look at the company financial statement, I look at what the company have been doing for the last 20 years, how stable the company has been, read the company, mission statement, all those things. You can diversify those. You can avoid those risks, right? Interest rates. Can you avoid interest rate? No, interest rate goes up, it goes up, it goes down. You don't decide what interest rate is going to be. Inflation, what can you do? Inflation is inflation, and we don't know when it's going to be high, when it's going to be low, So some risk you can manage, some risk you cannot manage them, right? That's why you have diversification. And when I talk about diversification, most people think about investment, which is not true. Diversification is throughout your life. I started Santa Barbara City College. How many in 2002? 2000, when was it? A while ago. And I did three different majors. Why? Because I want my option to be open. That's diversification. When I chose my career, I could just be an investment advisor and just do investment. But I chose not to do it. I decided to be a financial planner. There's a huge difference between financial planner and an investment advisor. Shelby, can we look at this thing again? Oh boy. Okay. So, this is my company. And this is the essence. This is what diversification is all about. If you take a company like Apple, or you take a company like Google, Google is putting money into health business, business doing genetic stuff. They're building tablets. They're putting money into academics. They're putting money into almost everything, so that when their core business go downhill, they're still making money. That's diversification. That's the same thing in the market too, right? The market, because different investment perform differently at any time. If somebody in this world knows exactly which one is going to do good next month, it's going to be the richest man on earth. Or do you think I'm lying? If I knew next week that X is going to do well, I'll be very, because I'm going to put everything into it. Yes. So that's why I have risk management department. I do insurance. This is why I do estate planning. This is why I work on people's trusts. Two things I don't do. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not an accountant. So I pair myself with those people here to help me do my job. You have your company, employee benefits. I can do that. I can come and talk to your health, dental, vision, do all those things. I can come and do your retirement planning. Where is it? Retirement, employee benefit. I think retirement planning was. Oh yeah, it's right here. Retirement planning. I can do. I have a bunch of UCSD student interning at my office. I do special care planning for family that has disabled children. I do fee-based planning for people who are very good at what they do but don't have time to do anything. So I take care of their whole life for them. I do investment. So that's diversification, and that's where every single business is going to. So do not try to be like, hey, you know what? I want to I want to be, I was talking to Shelby today. I'm like, Shelby, even though you didn't know about it, but you are diversifying yourself, you know. She worked with international students, and she's a teacher. That's diversification, you know. So you always want to have your option open. That's diversification. So it's not because most people hear diversity, they just think, okay, I'm buying stock, bond, this thing and that thing, all those things. All right. So what did you click on? Blank. Blank. Here. Okay. So securities is investment. So anything, what is security? I'm sure you guys know it. I'm sure that you guys learned that one already, right? It's like, what is security? Yeah, investment. Okay. Security is somebody who put his money. This is you. You put your money, dollar bill, into something managed by another person. This is another person with hat right here. Oh, this is me. And then the business has profit. You know, this is profit here. And then you get piece of it. That's security. So you are not the one managing it. You put money into it. Somebody else is taking care of it and work very hard. And it turns into profit. And then you get piece of a profit. That's security. And it can be equity or debt security, right? Equity are stocks. Debt security is just buying other people obligation, other people debt, knowing that at some point they're going to pay. So you don't want to buy a debt from company in Greece right now. That's not a good look, right? So that's security. And diversification. 90% of people 401k. I usually see that, you know, they put all the money in United States. And I'm like, what's going on? U.S. GDP haven't grown over 3% for the last 25 years. So why are you going to put all your money in the United States? Unless like, you know, something is not. U.S. is the safest market in the world. Don't get me wrong. But opportunity nowadays are outside of the United States. So you need to be taking advantage of what's going on outside. That's what is going to help you protect you with inflation, so that when euro is going up, you have investment in euros. You have investment in yen. You have investment in Chinese currency. So you are not worrying about, like, you know, currency, right? You have a country in South Africa, Brazil, China, you know, all those countries growing double digits every single year. So why you don't want a piece of it? Yes, you know, I usually recommend all my clients, which is a blanket recommendation, and I shouldn't be doing that, but this is what I study, and that's why I'm a little bit biased, right? I'm a little bit biased. So you got to be thinking global. You got to be thinking global. So if United States is not working, other countries are doing okay, and then you can be benefiting from them. Yeah? And investment approach. What's the best way to invest? I usually start from you nowadays. Yeah. So what's the best way to invest?
The best way in stocks and real estate. Real estate.
Mutual funds.
Leverage and compound interest.
Yeah, I like that.
Real estate.
Real estate. Oh man. Real estate. Why?
you, I mean, depends where you buy it.
Okay. So, like, what's the best way to invest? Like, what are you doing currently? Mm-hmm. Good answer. A good answer. So, real estate, like any other investment out there, they're always gonna be up and down. I don't care if it's real estate, if it's stock, if it's bond, if it's commodities, if it's something. The right way to invest is to diversify yourself. Imagine, like, you put your money in real estate when the housing bubble bust, and you retire at that time. What the heck are you gonna do? Wait?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the best strategy is to diversify for yourself. And we have a couple of things about investment approach, and then I'm gonna give you, and then we take a break. Okay, 5 more minutes, and then we take a break. So investment approach. I've heard a lot of that thing about real estate, and guys, real estate is just a piece of a puzzle. Always, like, if you think that way, like, you're always gonna do, like, the right thing. Real estate, consider real estate as just a piece of a puzzle, a piece of your portfolio. But your portfolio shouldn't be real estate. So, asset allocation. Allocation is number one. Like, what is asset allocation? That's what everybody do, right? So you have some cash, some bond, and some stock. That's what we call asset allocation. We have a income strategy. Income strategy is for people closer to retirement, and you want income. You want your portfolio to generate income. You are not worrying about capital appreciation. You are not worrying about buying something and it go from $1 to $6. You are buying it so that in the long run it's gonna appreciate a little bit, but you are getting quarterly dividend from those companies. Imagine, like, you buy Google, you buy Apple, you buy IBM, you buy those large Walmart, all those big companies. Every 3 months they give you some kind of dividends, so you want to be vested into those large cap that will give you dividend, so that you live off those income. That's the income strategy, okay? And dollar cost averaging. My writing is bad. Dollar cost averaging. What is dollar cost averaging? I'm sure you guys learned it before, no? Or not yet? Okay. I think that's the best way. That's the best way to invest. A dollar cost averaging. Ask me why. Come on. It's like, don't be shy. I want the class to be, in and out. It's like, so why? All right. So imagine I am Levy, right? And I make $2,000 a month, right? And after everything, I can be able to save $300 a month. After a mortgage, car, all those things, it's just example, okay. So I have $300 a month, or to do something with it. So what the heck I'm gonna do with it? So I get in front of my advisor and say that, okay, I have $300 a month, so do something with it. So let's try to put that money, buy different stuff. We can buy some real estate investment, securities. We can buy some large cap, like big company like Google. We can buy. So every month, I create a portfolio for you. And then every month we put $300 into it each month. And when I get a raise, I move it from 300 to 400 every month. From now until I retire, right? If I ask you, two group of people, age 25 to age 40, and 40 to 65. Yeah. So this guy starts saving $100 from age 25 all the way to age 40, and don't put any more money into it. And this guy at age 40 put in $300 a month all the way to age 65. Who is gonna have the most money? Yes. So the power of time is the money, the $100 you invest today, and that $100 compound for 40 years. That's a lot of money. I remember like when I was a trainee and learning about investment. Like my boss used to make a joke. It's like, if Jesus Christ invested a penny by then, there can't be any bank right now that can hold the money, because the money will be too much. One penny, if Jesus Christ put a penny and say, okay, I'm investing it, until for 2,000 years now, it's going to be a lot of money. So that's why if you start investing every single month, you're going to buy stock when the stock is down, right? You're going to buy it when the stock is high. So it's going like this, right? Right? So you are buying it when the stock is high. You are buying it when the stock is low. You are buying it when the stock is high. When it's low, when it's low. So on average, the cost you're going to spend to buy the stock is going to be less than the person that put in $1 million to buy the same exactly thing. So it's just a good way, dollar cost averaging is just a good way to invest, because human being, we make emotional decisions. And most of my clients always call me when the market is doing well. Or that's when they want to invest, which is a totally emotional decision. You are not trying to invest when the market is high. No, right? So dollar cost averaging is just invest no matter what the market is doing, and then you're going to be fine. Because the market is like this. If you look any index, S&P 500, you look Russell 3000, just look any big index. They're always going like this with time. Every single one of them. But yes, they'll have some bad time, and then it goes down, but they're all going like this. So if you are moving with the market and you are saving every month, that's what I tell my client. You got to pay yourself. Don't say that you are saving, because if you say you are saving, it's soon, okay, maybe you are. But if you tell yourself, hey, you know what, I'm paying myself, exactly as if you are paying your cell phone bill. How much money can you pay on your cell phone? How much you pay for your cell phone bill? Eh? How much you pay yourself a month? Okay, so if you can afford paying your cell phone bill and you are not paying yourself, something is not right. That's what you need to tell yourself. If I can pay my cell phone bill, I can be able to pay myself something too. If you have that mentality, like you're gonna be right. But if you don't start now, we don't have pension plan anymore. We don't have none of those things. Mean that you have to put more money into it, and it's not gonna happen, right? And
I have a question real quick. IRA, where do I go to set them up? There was someone who came the other day and they were going to talk about, I don't know, like what building would I go to set up an IRA, a Roth IRA?
Okay, at the end of the class, I'm gonna answer this question for you, okay? And then the last one is the use of leverage. Is the last one, which is very complex. This is when we start talking about derivative options. It's kind of like, that's when your risk tolerance is like crazy, and you are trying to use other people's money to make money, But those, if you lose money, you lose money big time. If you win money, if you make money, you make money big time, So these are not something I would recommend to anybody here, because you gotta be an expert and be doing this every single day. Otherwise, it's like you're gonna hurt yourself. All right. So let's. What is the best way to invest again? Diversify, and making sure to pay yourself each month if you are earning income. You gotta do it. It's just, there is no magic number, because a lot of people say that I'm going to finish class, I'm going to finish and then get an $80,000 job. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Because you got to get some experience first, right? Because you can't get any job right now and then they're going to pay you. You got to learn it, get the experience, and then they can start making some kind of money. Who knows a Notorious B.I.G. here? Everybody knows Notorious B.I.G. More money, more problem. You have $100,000. You're going to drive a nicer car. Shoot. You're going to eat nicer food. You're going to be able to live in a nicer neighborhood. Before you know it, the money is gone. That's how it is. So it's not like magically you're going to get a job and then start saving. If you don't put yourself into a habit, it's just a habit. If you don't put yourself into a habit now, it's going to be very tough later on to go back and say that, okay, no, it won't happen. So let's go for a break and then we come back. Cover a financial position check, risk management check, wealth management check. Then we have retirement planning, tax planning, and estate planning. So I'm going to put those two together very quick and give you guys some statistic about retirement planning, all those things, and then cover what you guys has on schedule for today. So for estate planning is huge. So I'm going to tell you exactly what you guys need to know. And the rest is like you can sit down with your lawyer and then talk to it, because he knows all the other things you don't have to know, right? So so retirement planning. Oh, this one is what scared me the most. Retirement planning. This thing is gone. Like, do you have? Oh, no. Okay, I'm going to just use this one then. That's fine. All right. There are still a couple people missing here. All right. So let's talk about retirement planning. So there is a professor at Harvard, that did a research on what retirement is looking like in the United States. So they take a group of people between age 25 and 65 and see what's going on. So, group age 25 to age 65. So it started with 100%. I have been up today since 5 a.m. I have a toddlers, so they can help me with my math, okay? So, they're like 13% will die before retirement. That's a bad news. So, 100% minus 13%, what's left over? 87. I don't have the number, and I have a stat in my bag, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I'm gonna, I can send it to Shelby, and then she can share with you guys. But at the end of it, they're like another, I think another 40%, I believe, have to work through retirement. And something, and then at the end, less than 10% will have income of $50K plus a year in retirement. How dangerous this thing is looking like? Meaning that U.S. population doesn't save. U.S. population have the lowest saving rate among all the developed nations. U.S. So U.S. we don't save in U.S. So the latest data show that 87% of our parent baby boomers has to work through our retirement in order to survive. So then he put everything together. He's like, why unemployment is so high? And he blamed baby boomers because they are not retiring. He blamed baby boomers that they are not retiring. And it might be an option. Who knows, right? So in the whole country, in the United States, about less than 15% will make 100K plus a year. So if I pick everybody right here, if there were like 100 people, less than 15% is gonna one day make over 100K a year. So don't think that a life is, and then you can just finish work and just, yeah, some people make it, but most people doesn't. So that's why saving is important. You gotta save, get into the habit, because bad habit. How many people have bad habit and they have been carrying it since they were kids? I do, and when you grow up now, it just become you. It's just become who you are, and you can't change them anymore. It's just you. So it's exactly the same thing as saving. If you don't start it right now, you put yourself into a habit, it's very hard later on for you to be like, okay, waking up and say, okay, today is going to be the day I'm going to save. It won't happen. So 21st century retirement, retirement planning. Okay, so again, retirement planning. Combination of what? And now I want to know who is following me and who is dreaming. The combination of what? Come on. Investment. Wealth management is the combination of what? No.
I said real estate.
Yeah. A combination of guarantee and the market. Right? So, guarantee. So, same thing again, retirement. Because you don't know what the market is going to be doing when you retire. Millions of people retired when the market was close to 50% down. And what people who didn't have any plan. They took, the market is already 50% down, and then you start taking money out of your retirement account. Then you are shooting yourself straight into the head, right? So, again, retirement planning, guarantee plus market. So when the market is down and you retire, you are taking money out of your guarantee bucket, right? And let the market part recover. When the market starts doing well again, then you start taking money out of here again. That way the whole thing balance, and then you have the money longer instead of having it for a few years. All right. So, again, what I think is the best way to save for retirement? Yes, dollar cost averaging. So, just every month, you got to pay yourself each month and break them into different buckets. And then I'm going to show you how the IRS is viewing everybody right here, right? And common mistake. Okay, we got to cover this because I have to share this thing with you so that you don't make the same mistake. So what are the common mistakes for retirement that people made in retirement? The number one, I work a lot with business owners, right? Levy, I'm going to sell my business one day, before I retire, and then take the money and retire. Right? and what did I tell you? Business is just, yes, it's just a piece of a puzzle. So, retirement money and business should be totally different. Your business is your business. Your retirement is your retirement. Your house is your house. The whole thing is a portfolio. So you got to make sure that small business they usually think that I have a lawyer last time my dad was telling me that he's gonna sell his I'm like you are not saving and I show him what he's doing. I'm like it's in less than 15 years in your retirement, you're going to run out of money. He's like, I'm going to sell it. And I'm like, can your business run without you? He's like, no. He's like, I'm like, meaning that your business doesn't have any value. Nobody won't buy it. If your business can run without you, why I'm going to buy a business if I'm not, I'm a Tom Law, nobody won't do business with me. Why I'm going to buy it? Hell no. Right? So it takes some time to develop a business until you sell a business. That's what most people don't really understand. It's not because you have a business and then at some point you're just gonna make a price and say I'm gonna sell it. It sounds nice, right? I'm gonna sell my business. So that's the number one, a common mistake most people do. And second, don't get into a habit of paying themselves. People are not paying themselves each month. I can tell you, if you don't start saving right now, there is no way, because older you're going to have kids. Then you're going to worry about your kid education. Then something is going to come up. Then something is going to come up. Always because you become adults, stuff starts falling on you. As soon as everything starts, bills, credit card getting bigger, all those things getting bigger. So I want to spend a little bit of time to talk about making sure that you guys have good credit score and making sure that you are paying your debt, all those things. So in order to have a decent credit score, and most people don't really mention it. So how many people has credit card here? Like those plastic things, yeah. And what's your average APR on it? The interest the bank is getting. Okay, you just use it. Good for you. Like you have a credit card? Like who has credit card here? Like what's your APR?
It's 0% for 12 months, and then it's 29% after the first 12 months.
Okay. Like who else has credit card? That's it? Okay. So they're saying 29%, right? Tell yourself, when you get a credit card and you get excited, and then the minimum of it usually is about 16%. Tell yourself what kind of investment you're going to be making right now that will guarantee you 16% a year. That's exactly what the banking system is saying, that they are guaranteeing to get 29% return from you each year. So it's always going to put you into more debt, into more debt, into more debt, right? So when you use it and you are overspending, what's your number one problem there? If you are spending too much money, what's your number one problem? What you need to check? And we already talked about it. Huh? Budget. Mean that you gotta have a budget and say that, hey, you know what? If I spend, this is my allowance, X. And if you reach X, then you gotta tie your belt and say that, okay, next month I have more money to spend next month. Then if you don't put yourself into that regimen and do it, there is no way that you're gonna come out of debt. Because when you get deep into debt, game over. And also, when you get your credit card and they give you maybe, let's say, $1,000 credit limit, they usually say a limit, right? You can only spend $1,000 on it. Just an example. Don't spend $800 on it. If you have $800 cash and you know that you can pay it back next month, yes, like you can spend $800 on it and then pay it back right away, and you're gonna pay 0 interest. If you pay everything cash right away, you use it and then you pay as your budget is telling you how much money you have allocated toward those things, then your credit is gonna be amazing. But why people credit stinks? It's because they use it and then they use $300 today, this month, and then pay $50. Next month, they use $350 and pay $75. And before you know it, your credit is $1,000, and then you are $800 on it, and then you are paying maybe $100 a month. Then you are starting hurting your credit because the banking system, they have a system, and then they put you into it, and then it's a red flag, meaning that this guy is spending more money than he can afford. Meaning that, you know what? Meaning that you don't have enough money to pay them back. Meaning that everything is going to be expensive. You go and try to apply for credit to buy your house, it's going to be very expensive. You go and you want to buy a car, they check your credit, they'll be like this guy spend too much money, it can't afford paying back his thing. So you are high risk for them. That's why, everything is. So the best strategy, if you have $1,000 and you spend $500 into it, don't go over $500. Then make sure to put it down and then have your limit half of it. If you can have that regimen, that like follow it every time, you're gonna have a good score. If you don't, it's like it's like you will figure it out at some point. Now let's talk about task planning. This is the area Uncle Sam doesn't like me. Task planning. Okay, let's put on blank. Okay, put where are my assets? Yes, I want to put this. There it is. Okay. Okay. No, it's fine, yeah. All right. So, I can write on this one, right? No. Okay.
No, not on the white. Only on the board.
I got Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So, this is task planning. So, this is how IRS view everybody. You can be poor, you can be rich, you can be Bill Gates. We all fit right here. Right? So, you can see that this thing is breaking down into 3 different categories, right? Task now. Task now is like all the stuff you have. There are a bunch of stuff I can list there, but just some example, right? Task now is like all the stuff you have, and at the you make money on it. At the end of the year, you get a 1099 from your bank saving account or from the investment thing that you make this thing, and then you pay taxes at the end of the year. So task now. So this is your checking account at the bank, your saving account, your CDs, your mutual fund, your stock, your bond, your real estate, all those things. So at the end of the year, if it's interest, they give you 1099 INT. If it's dividend, they give you 1099 DIV. And then you pay your taxes to Uncle Sam, and then game over. And then next year, you make money, you pay your taxes, and then game over. Tax later. Tax later is where Uncle Sam trying to trap most people. But if Uncle Sam didn't do it, most people won't save either, right? So here are like your IRA, your individual retirement account, your variable annuity. I'm not trying to go into detail in those things. Your fixed annuity, your 401k, or your 403b if you are working for a nonprofit or government. Your SEP IRA, all those things. SEP IRA, Roth IRA. It's just a code so that Uncle Sam knows exactly what kind of taxes you are paying. So they all mean almost the same thing, but they just have a different tax code, right? So this is your 403Bs, and this is other investment, right? So let me put it right here, and then you guys can help me figure it out. Tax now, tax later, and tax advantage. Who know what tax advantage means? Yeah, good, good, good. Tax advantage also mean, yeah, yeah. It's like tax advantage also mean tax free. It's kind of because you already pay taxes on your income before you put money into those things. So here, the growth, you are not paying taxes on it. Here, the growth, you are paying taxes on it, right? So, imagine, I usually give an easy example to my client in order to make them understand what's the difference. So, imagine every single one of us here, we are farmers, right? And this is your land here, right? Everybody's desk is a piece of land. And then Uncle Sam say, okay, you have two choices. The seed you're going to put on the ground, you can pay taxes on the seed. You buy the seed and then you pay taxes. And then when you harvest, when everything grows, you don't pay any taxes on it. Or you don't pay me any taxes. You put the seed in. If it grows, you pay taxes on whatever thing you harvest. Which one you going to choose? It depends. Every single, but most people is going to go to pay taxes on the seed so that when you have a huge harvest, you don't pay a single taxes on it. That's, if everybody is going to make a good financial decision, that's what everybody is going to go for. But it's not going to be the case for every single situation. Each person is different, I told you, and then you have to figure it out, right? So, let me tell you. So these are usually employer-sponsored plans. It's kind of like your employer have it so that you put money into all those things, And tax advantage, that's where you have Roth IRA. You have cash value life insurance. That's what I mentioned it really quick. Whole life. That's what they call it also, whole life. Variable universal life. And 529 plan, it can be here. You can also add municipal bonds. It can be also here. Right? So you are not paying direct taxes on those things. So imagine we both work very hard. And then I have 1 million here. And then 1 million here. So me and you, we work very hard and I save, you save your 1 million here. And I save my 1 million here. We both happy. We both did an amazing job. But what this guy doesn't really understand is that his 1 million is 100% taxable. You are paying taxes on the whole thing. So we are in the lowest tax bracket right now. So which direction taxes is going to go in the future? Up. So let's say we are in the lower tax bracket and then you have 30% taxes. And then this guy has 0 taxes. Who won? Yes, right? But at some point, it makes sense to put some money here because most of your work, your employer give you some match. So that, okay, if you put 3% into it, I put 3% into your thing. Or if you put 5% into it, I put 5% into it, or whatever. So you want to take the free money from your employer, put it into it, so you get the match and put some into it here and then put some into it. That's portfolio. The whole thing is a portfolio. And how are we going to minimize your taxes depending on each situation? And a lot of people don't really understand it. And put most of the money here. And very excited when they see the number. But when they start paying taxes, they hate it. That's why tax planning is one of the most valuable things. Right here, this is where you get estate planning. When you start making a lot of money, like Notorious B.I.G. say, more money, more problem, right? Uncle Sam sees that you are making more money, Uncle Sam is dead. And then if you don't make the right move, Uncle Sam is going to get you big time. That's why when you start making money, you gotta make sure that you are making a good move too. Having a professional team behind you, making sure that you are doing whatever you can to reduce your tax or liability. That's when we go into estate planning. So estate planning. What is estate planning? So, like, you guys, any questions on this one? Yeah.
You said to put money into the tax later one,
Mm-hmm.
the employer matches it.
Yeah.
But what if they match the tax advantage?
If they cannot match it.
Really?
Yeah, because employer.
I have a Roth 401k.
But your employer contribution is gonna go into your regular. Employer has to create you a regular 401k to put his money into it, because your employer is deducting the money he is matching for you. So your employer cannot deduct
You can't put the money on your paycheck and
after tax.
it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like, so your money you are putting away are in your Roth, right? Are in your Roth, but your match is going to your regular 401k. So if your employer has give you guys a Roth 401k, mean that you guys have both 401k and Roth 401k. Because it doesn't make sense if the employer is matching it and can't deduct it. That's business. It's like you live in the United States, and business is business. And there's no free money out there. Employers giving you free money for a reason, right?
So they only match you,
What?
they only match you, they get a benefit.
Yeah. They're getting benefit big time. That's why they're doing it, because all is reducing the taxes at the end of the year. The benefit, dental, vision, all those things is reducing all the taxes. That's why they give it to you at the first place. Otherwise, why they're gonna do it?
Well, then why don't more employers do that? If they're not making enough to do that.
Yeah, it's because of the law required them to do so. That they have to do it. Yeah, they have to do it in order to get a deduction. Because if they don't get the deduction and they keep all the money for themselves, and imagine at the end of the year they make $1 million, so they might get there like 40% taxes. So $300,000 can go. Why not spend $200,000 on my employee and then deduct it, reduce my own income with it? So it's a win-win game for everybody. Yeah. Does it make sense? So when you are reading those things in the books, it's not how you get it. That life, regular life is totally different. So what you are learning in books is kind of help you getting the basics, the concept. But when you get into reality, everything changes. All right. So any more questions? Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I don't really do anything.
And most people don't. It's not like it's just, and then you just check and then trying to start your job, But the number one thing you need to do is to make sure that to sit down with somebody, go through everything, and make sure to get everything that are benefiting you. Everything that benefits you, the employer doesn't give it to you for free. You have to call your HR. It's not on the list they give it to you. You have to call your HR and ask your HR to do it. And then they don't put all the good stuff just in front of you. Yeah. So that's why a small consultation with a professional now can save you a lot of money 20 years from now, or you can keep making the same mistake over and over for 20 years or 40 years. Yeah, All right. Any more questions? We got to tackle. If you guys want to go home, we got to start estate planning right now. Otherwise. All right. Estate planning. Have you guys read it? So you guys going to read it next. After I go through it, everything is going to make sense when you go through it. All right? So, what is estate planning? Mm-hmm.
Planning for what happens to your assets after you die.
Yeah, a good answer. Like what is estate planning?
I don't know.
What is estate planning?
That's what he said.
Yeah, okay. Estate planning. If I want to define estate planning, the easiest way to define estate planning is when people are looking to transfer wealth from one generation to the next with minimum taxation. That's estate planning. And also, you want to be thinking ahead. In the event I already accumulate some assets, and I don't want my kid to be fighting over stuff. I don't want my Uncle Joe to show up and say he owned this. So we want to be able, to make sure that, just in case something happened to you, the distribution is going to go smooth. So nobody, what you put on a piece of paper is going to be what you want and not what somebody else wants. Right? So estate planning is making sure that doing stuff while you are alive and after you die. Transferring wealth from one generation to the next and making sure that the distribution went well, everybody's happy. Right? And what most people don't understand, again, more money, more problem. Uncle Sam said, before he's like, if you make over $1 million, a few years ago, estate tax was like 55%. So anything above $1 million, you are paying 55% on it. How about people who have billions of dollars? So they can only take $1 million and then the rest is up for Uncle Sam to grab. So when you make money, Uncle Sam also is there too. Uncle Sam one piece of it. But now, 2 years ago, they made a deal. And if I ask, most people don't even know about it. And rich people now say that, hey, you know what? You have to increase the estate limit. But now it went from 1 million to 5 million. So you have to have more than 5 million to pay your estate tax. And if you die today and you have over $5 million, you have to pay your estate tax within 90 business days. And you have to have the cash to pay for it. Uncle Sam doesn't care about if you don't have cash, if you have property, if you have real estate, if you have whatever, you have to pay. That's why most people who don't have cash, who don't have a plan, they usually sell their property half price because they have to meet the deadline. Otherwise, you are accumulating interest, right? So there are two kind of estate planning. There is a will-based estate planning and trust-based estate planning. And depending on your situation, each case is based upon your needs. So let me take you through the two. And what happened if you don't have none of those things done and then something happened to you? What happened? Huh? Yeah, it's like, the government, then you let your asset to the government to decide who take what. And the government can be like, okay, Uncle Joe take this one, your kid take this one, and this. So, and then it go through probate, and then your kids start fighting. Then they have to hire a lawyer, and they have to do this, and before you know it, the lawyer fee accumulate. It might take 2 or 3 years, and before you know it, the lawyer takes everything. So that's reality. That's reality, and a lot of people don't think about those kind of things. And who needs a will or estate-based planning? It makes sense when you are a professional and you start making money. What are some of the things you can put in your estate plan? What are some of the things you can put into it? Into your trust or your will or whatever? What are some of the things you can put into it? You can put anything into it. You know, I have clients like, you know, who put, like, you know, who want, like, you know, his grandkid, like, you know, to get like, you know, one of his shoes. I don't know or why, but it's like he wanted it. You know, so you can put anything into it. So let's talk about estate planning. Estate planning, right? So we have will. We have will-based and trust-based, right? So let's go back a little bit to the question I asked. If you haven't done anything, if you read your chapter, like you're gonna hear about Uncle Sam take control of your asset and do whatever like they want to do with it, right? And then everything goes into probate. So Auntie Jacqueline can just come over and say that, hey, like, you know, he owe me $25,000 25 years ago, and he never paid. And Auntie Jacqueline can hire a lawyer, and they can go after your asset. And I'm sure that Auntie Jacqueline is going to win because you are not there to defend yourself, right? So to avoid all those things, you need to have a planning. You need planning. Most of people are getting in front of. And most of my smart consumer, you know, like lawyer, engineer, who think that they can do everything by themselves, right? And they are the one making the most mistakes because they usually seek out for help later because they think like they can do it like themselves because like they can go and read books, but they don't really understand that, you know, what's going on in books is totally different than what is reality, right? So we have revocable and irrevocable trust, you know. So you have will-based. Will-based doesn't avoid probate. So I want to make sure that you guys are taking notes. Okay. So so again, estate planning. Two kinds of estate planning. You have will-based estate planning and trust-based estate planning. Trust-based estate planning, you have revocable trust and you have irrevocable trust. Revocable trust is a living trust. It's kind of you own the trust while you are alive, and you already plan everything. And if you die, you already have a trustee. So I'm gonna go over there. So revocable, it means that, you know, you have access to the trust and you can change it anytime. That's revocable. I can be like, okay, I don't want this trust anymore. I can change. I can make adjustment. I can do whatever I want while I'm alive. Irrevocable, you cannot do it. No. You said it. And why people do irrevocable trust? People, yeah. Yeah, it's almost there. It's like in your power, right? The main reason why people do the irrevocable trust is for tax purposes. They don't want to, whatever tax benefit they want to do. So you are telling the trust that, hey, you know what? You are telling Uncle Sam that, hey, look, Uncle Sam, this part of my money, this part of my asset doesn't belong to me. Right? That's why you see Bill Gates giving billions to charity. Do you think he's crazy? He's getting everything in tax deduction for himself, his kid, and the tax deduction he's going to get is more than the money he's giving away. Right? So, this is how it is. And life is, we are into it. And people who can hustle the hardest, people who knows exactly how the law, I told people the law is meant to be broken because somebody write it, right? Somebody write the law. So the person who designed the law always have a loophole to go around the law, unless it's not a human being who wrote it, right? So any law, there's always, you cannot do this, you cannot, but if you have this, yes, right? So irrevocable, you are telling Uncle Sam, hey, this part of my asset is not belong to me. So you take part of your asset out of your wealth and tell Uncle Sam that the leftover is mine. What is in my trust is not mine. It's for the next generation. And I already have beneficiary, everything on it. That's why, like, you have Kennedy Trust, you know, and they already designed it for, like, you know, for a long time ago. Yeah?
So the trust, when, like, you leave, like, your kids, like, $1 million, and you can only use it, like, when they're 18 or something like that?
You can, it's based upon your goal and what you want. That's how you design a trust. You don't design a trust because your neighbor has it. It's whatever you want, because your kid doesn't have to be 18. For my trust, I forgot to bring it because I was in a hurry this morning. I was trying to show you guys. I say, you know, I told my kids, the person that go to a college is going to get more money than the person didn't go to college. And I already wrote it. So you want to get daddy's money or mommy's money, you go to college. Shoot. Like, you don't go to college, like, you know that you are not getting it. So you can do whatever you want. The worst thing you can ever gonna do to yourself is to write something in your trust and tell your trust to do distribution to your kid at age 18. When was the last time you see $1 million cash at 18? And that's the worst thing you can ever do to your kids. Your kid turn 18 and then you give them a bunch of money. What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do? So a lot of people don't really go through all those processes and just, so those are the kind of thing you have to consider. Those are the kind of thing, your value. What is your value? All those things gets together to be part of your trust. I value education, so I want my kid to go to school. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you have a trust for your beneficiaries, you want to pay taxes. So how much tax will the beneficiaries pay when they get the trust?
It goes in like we can spend a week on it. Yeah, it depends, because you can put bunch of assets tax advantage into it, and they were never gonna pay taxes. So, I have a client who was worrying about his children. If his children married and he doesn't want the money to go to the family of the husband of the wife, because he wants the money to be for his children. So you can protect it, even though you marry my son, and you are legally married. The money is not yours, because that's what the person who designed the trust said. You know, when they distribute the money and then the money become the kid money, then the wife can have it. But if the money is still in the trust, it won't happen. So they are like, family went through divorce. You have kid in one family, you have kid in this family, and you want to make sure that all your kids are being taken care of. That's a great thing to do. And there are a bunch of stuff. So I'm not going to go into, if you read your textbook, everything is going to make sense, right? So, irrevocable, when you design it, you design it. That's it. And then you let it go. And and most people do this one. After they increase the tax limit from 1 million to 5 million, most people do this one. Unless you have a lot of money. If we are talking about 10 million, all those things, you can start thinking about this thing, because if you take it out of your asset, that's why it's irrevocable. You can't just say that, after a few years and say that, I want my money back. No, it won't happen, right? So so what is a trust? A trust is a contract between what is it? Between the truster, or whatever they call it, the truster, trustee. There's a trustor and a trustee, right? And beneficiary, and the conservator or advisor. So these are this one also is like, you can read some book and they call it grantor. So the owner of a trust can be both truster, trustee, but cannot be beneficiary, because if you are beneficiary of your own trust, so you are putting all the assets back to your name again. That's stupid. Right? So you can be the truster and the trustee while you are alive. And then when something happens to you, then you give the power to another person. Right? Then you have a conservator or advisor, just in case to take to decide on, and the advisor can be the trustee, or it can be a bunch of people, it can be one person, depending on whatever you want. So, will-based estate planning. What is inside of the will-based estate planning? You have your will, like you are taking notes. So, will-based estate planning, you have your will, your financial power of attorney. So, just in case you can't make decision anymore, like somebody else can make a decision for you. You have your nomination of conservator. It's kind of like you have children. Nomination of conservator, right? So guardianship for your minors. It's like you can name somebody to be like, okay, just in case something happened to, I want my twin boys to be raised by X, but I don't want Auntie Sally to touch them. So whatever you want, right? And your schedule of assets. Schedule of assets is very important. So I was talking to so imagine a lot of people have homeowner insurance and they have homeowner insurance, right? Imagine your house burned. And then most people say, oh, I have my grandma jewelry, I have this thing, and start making a list. Insurance company is gonna be like, are you kidding me? It's like, where are these things coming from? But if you have a will or a trust, and you have a schedule of assets, meaning that all the assets you have with their value, and you show that to your insurance company, and it has been notarized, and your lawyer signed it, and you sign it, they will pay it really quick. So it makes everything faster. So you can even have a will and a trust, all those things, without having even a kid yet, but just a planning process. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for that example, you said the house burned down.
Mm-hmm.
They would just pay for the house, not for anything inside.
If you didn't have a clear schedule of assets.
Okay.
You know, it would be like, you know, you might, like, they might pay for it, but it's gonna be very hard to prove that you have those things.
So when the copy goes in the house,
Hmm?
right? Where does the copy go?
No, it's like, you know,
Is there, like,
one
anyone
copy
else
of your
on it?
trust always is like, you know, your lawyer has one, your advisor has to have one too, and then you have one,
So
and
you
then
have
you
to have
also have
advisor,
one.
lawyer,
Yes, trust. You have a copy. Always have also a digital copy. So you have a physical copy like this, which, like, you know, you don't hide it. It's not, trust is not something you hide. You, if your house burns down, it's something you just grab and then get out of your house, and then let everything burn, right? So like, you know, you have one with your lawyer, because your lawyer has a copy of it. He designed everything, and he's gonna call you to make sure update all those things. And you have one with your financial planner.
So you can't do it by yourself. You have to have a lawyer.
Oh yeah, no. If you do it by yourself, you're on your own. So what makes?
So then you take it to notarize.
Oh no. It doesn't. No. It has. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can have as many copies as you want.
Yeah.
And hide them all over the place.
Yeah. You know, but I usually one in your house and have a digital one. Put one in your cloud, or have one in I don't know, on Google Doc or something, somewhere where you can go online and then, like, you know, get it. You know. Yeah. All right. But, like, let's finish this one. So on your trust base, what is inside? Are you guys taking it? So now we already finished. We already finished will. We have the will. We have your power, your financial power of attorney. We have your nomination of a conservator, and we have your schedule of assets. That's what's in your will-based estate plan. Your trust base. We have your trust. We have your certification of trust. So when you have a trust and you want to put anything in your trust, it has to be exact the name on your certificate. You know, Mr. and Mrs. whatever you want, Mr. and Mrs. Ahouandjinou Trust. You know, and then that's how you name everything on it, so that they can put them in the trust, so that, you know, everything goes into the trust. Yeah. So you have when you want to work with a financial planner, you don't bring your trust, because you don't know who they are first, right? You just grab a certificate. The certificate just tell them about the trust, if it's a revocable, irrevocable, about the name, about it doesn't show your asset, none of those things, just the basic thing they need to do their job. You know, so that you are not sharing those information with anybody. You know, it's not because you have a kid and you don't want your kid to be reading through your trust, so don't leave your trust around so that your kid read it. Otherwise, they might be pissed, or they might even kill you before you know it. I don't know. Schedule of assets. So we have your trust, your certification of trust, schedule of assets, financial power of attorney, advanced healthcare directive. So imagine you got in a car accident. You got in a car accident and you are unconscious. What type of blood are you? Maybe you have allergy for a specific medication, and but they shouldn't give it to you, and then So you gotta have all those things into it so that something happen. Oh, it's like I can just go and then grab it and say, oh, it's like he's allergic to this thing. Don't do it. And it's like you name somebody to make decision for you, and that person should know all your medical everything, and then will make sure that they make decision for you when you cannot make it for yourself. All right. A nomination of a conservator too, and any other thing that stay into it is just for taxes. If like you wanna tax advantage stuff, and will if you have the will. 5 more minutes. Will. It's not because you have a will that you have a will. Anybody can just show up and say that you owe me money and then sue you, and then it's gonna go in probate, and then you have to pay probate fee and then pay lawyer's fee. Before you know it, lawyer usually always win. When there's argument, I'm telling you, lawyers always win. So so will doesn't avoid probate. It does not avoid probate. Trust. A lot of people say, oh, trust, creditor cannot come for you or those things. It depends how you design it. It depends how you design your trust. This one do not avoid probate either. But depending how you design it too. This one go through nobody can touch it. Even Uncle Sam, even you owe Uncle Sam money, Uncle Sam can touch it. This one. So this one avoid probate, avoid everything. This one, of the information, a lot of them usually avoid probate. This one usually avoid probate, but questionable. Benefits of trust and versus will. It's just one. With trust, avoid blockage of asset. It's kind of you die, and you already have you don't have a trust and you have a will. Because somebody just show up at the court and say that they can block all your assets, you can't touch it, you can't do anything, and then it has to go through a whole thing, and then they have to go through it. So those things cost money, all those things, it might take forever. But will, stuff you put in your will, it avoids stuff you put in your trust. Trust based, usually what you write it down is what is gonna happen. So it goes to somebody can just come and say they're gonna block your asset or something like that. Now, money is available for use by your minor ASAP if you have a trust. If you don't have a trust and you have only will, or somebody might come out, Uncle Sally or Auntie Sally can just come over and say something. But if you have a trust, your kid need college to go to college, they will be taking money out of it right away because that's what you put into it. Yeah.
I'm a little confused right now. So why would anyone have a will?
It's just to have something.
Something can be just only trust instead of will. What is the difference?
Yeah, but trust costs money to do it. It's not like you can just. It costs money to do a trust.
So for will, you can write down on a piece of paper.
Will you still will-based estate plan? You still need a lawyer.
So either way, you're going to spend money.
Yeah, but there is less stuff in list in will than this one. This one is the whole 9 yards. Or this one is just I want this and this. It's just to have something. It just if you don't, it's kind of like option to have something here. But if you know that you are an honest person and you don't owe anybody, and then you don't have a lot of assets, and you just want your kid not to fight, and you say, okay, my wedding ring goes to my wife, this thing goes to this thing goes, yes, and then yeah, it's fine. But if you are in business and you are working with other people, and then you owe money, you do those kind of things. Having a will won't really, like people will see gonna go after your assets very hard. It's kind of like, trust kind of like, they need to put more work into it to get the money. But will is like, they can take your money very quick. In particular, IRS. So at least you have something. Will is kind of like, you have something.
And my understanding is with a will also, it's like you don't really maybe need a lawyer to say that this is an official document that yeah, I've seen this. But my understanding is you can actually just have a couple witnesses, write out your will and say, these two people are my witnesses. I am of sound mind and body. That's the main phrase, right? I'm mentally capable of saying what I want to have happen, and this is what I want to do. These two people saw me sign this. They attest to my civility, and that's it. That's it. So for people who don't have money, don't have a huge asset base, it seems maybe a little extravagant to go into trust building, because you don't have that extra money to go and consult somebody about all of your management accounts. So a will is like very simple and straightforward.
Yes.
You can make them online.
Yeah.
You can make a will online. Is it recommended?
And that's exactly what I'm telling you. There is a huge difference between will and will-based estate planning. We are saying will is just, when I was telling you will-based estate planning, you have a will, and then you have that. Right? So it's not only the will. It's not just having the will. Is you have an estate plan. You have a will-based estate planning, and you come with your will with other bunch of things I just went through. You have a trust-based estate. It comes with the trust certificate, and with a bunch of other stuff. So if you want the whole thing, yes, you need a professional to take care of it. But if you only worry about distribution of your asset when you die, and then you can write your will among your good friend, and they just need to sign, and then it depends. Each state has their own law. Some states might be like no. Some states, so you just check I think with the state of California you can have couple people saying that. Witnesses, and then you sign your will, and then it's good. Money does not have to be distributed at 18. I heard this thing over and over again. It's not because you have a trust that at age 18 your kid is gonna get. I usually ask my client, tell me the truth. At what age you become truly mature? It usually. Is usually your the average when your parents become mature, you kind of see it's usually in your 30s. Yeah, it's usually in your 30s. That's when you start a career and everything makes sense and you understand everything, and that's when you but I don't know, but. You have 18-year-old that are totally mature too, 18-year-old, and they're asking you holy shoot, are they 18 or what? So everybody is different, so you have to know your kid best, and you have a parent and you should be the one making that decision. But I usually recommend, you know what, you don't want to give a lot of money to an 18-year-old. It's just me. Because I remember when I was 18, if somebody give me a lot of money, maybe I won't be here right now. I don't know. Yeah, it's like I might. Yeah, I don't know. So, any more questions? So trust avoid like a public proceeding, avoid like length of probate, and then avoid cost of probate. But also another thing is that having a trust also costs money because you have to update it all the time. So you buy a new car, you gotta add it into it. Something happened, you got it. So at the end of it, wheelbase and essay, it's about the same thing. It's about the same cost, because both of them you need to be updating them all the time, So it's just about what your needs are. It's just about what your needs are, and then you sit down with professional, you talk about it, and then you solve it. I think this is the end of the class, and hopefully I didn't confuse you guys and didn't bore you guys to death. And anybody has questions?